1v1 here. Giving over the Varus again to Zven, though. He was quite good on it. So much long-range damage coming through. Highly accurate with his skill shots.
And we're going to get 3 straight games of Zven on the Varus. And I want to point out, right, in Game 4, it's TL's side choice. Just because they're the lower seed, they pick on even numbers games. They chose to remain on red. To my recollection,
Aha!
it hadn't been switching back and
back
forth.
to this.
Right, so this is interesting. Yeah, Ziggs is still left up. The same 3 bans, I believe, for Cloud9, but now seeing that a Ziggs ban is coming through, they get that one.
They even hover the Renekton on the side of Cloud9. They know what's coming. What was the opening comp there with the Sejuani plus the double melee solo laners for Team Liquid? They had so much success. A lot of it, though, predicated on Santorin's early success with game.
Oh, yes!
I don't think that's repeatable. Oh, Taliyah,
I've been waiting
finally!
for this for so long! 0% pick rate! Taliyah's in the LCS finally!
I talked about it multiple times on the dive, so I'm like, how long have you been waiting for it, Phreak?
Maybe not as long as you, but a while.
The Taliyah it's necessary to have your point-and-click setup. So you only feel comfortable in picking it in things where you have combinations like the Renekton. It's all about your point-and-click CC into your W-flick seismic shove back. She has been in a good spot as a jungler just for quite a while now, and it's been something we've been tossing around on Masterminds as well in some of the compositions, and yet we finally get to see it here. Blaber pulls it out with the lock-in simultaneously of the Renekton. Huge kill pressure there. This screams top lane focus. If they also can get Perkz a champion for mid lane with some easy CC setup, then you will obliterate people within the duration. You get your seismic shove over the rocks, so much damage, possibilities here for it. Plus, if you're playing it into what you expect to be a tank jungler and they lock in the Sejuani, then you get the possibilities of very aggressive invades too. Taliyah, one of the biggest strengths, you can play off of any of these lanes. You so effortlessly can harass and invade tank junglers like this because you have huge damage output and very easy repositioning. Next to walls, big speed boost, so it allows you to transition over very quickly.
And you can see Team Liquid identifying that now that they've got a mage in the lineup, they can start banning other AD mid laners. Lucian has been Perkz' most played champion so far this year. And they're going to drop off Gwen as well in case Renekton was going mid.
And critically, they're banning out strong lanes for this Taliyah to work off of as well. So, the AD threats that are also going to push and allow you to get that harassment off. This is definitely a combo that will allow you win strong lanes, win jungle as well. That is the game plan through. There are lots of interesting synergies you can pull out with the walls, trying to trap people as well as we get down the list here. But Gwen being taken off the list because, again, when you're Sejuani, you're going to want to be melee heavy as a composition. Gwen excels in the fighting those types of comps, so another good protection ban there from Team Liquid.
Alrighty. Bar does a long hover here. Shen. Okay. So Shen top lane in Renekton. You can withstand a lot of the damage. If you get your dodge zone up in time, you immune the entire Renekton W. You take 0 damage. You don't get stunned. It feels really good. Obviously, you also have pretty reasonable disengage. If Renekton goes in for the stun, you can just dash, and though you'll be stunned, you'll still be another 800 units away and not in Taliyah range.
And one of the biggest things is, as soon as you have vision on Taliyah, you are going to expect the stun setup. So that makes it much easier for timing windows when you're going to use your Spirit's Refuge. When you're looking for that, jungle tracking is going to be very big this time around.
All right. The 6th Sylas game of the year for Perkz. 3-2 on it so far. See if you can add a 4th, otherwise they are headed to the lower bracket. Cloud9, a bit light on engaged tools. Rakan makes sense here with Leona and Nautilus banned away. What's next up does mean his famed Alistar is not to be picked here. Vulcan, easily his best and most played champion, 17 on the year, but goes for the Rakan. And CoreJJ seems happy. We can always see it might be support Shen. Unlikely, but possible.
Yeah, definitely true. Still flexible down there. As far as the engage options too, I just assume that Perkz is going to be very frequently stealing away the Sejuani ultimate. And so they'll try and get some more engage, that way. Plus, it is another one of these fairly easy to set up for Taliyah options. Meanwhile, CoreJJ does get swapped over that Shen, and they get the Jayce counter into Renekton. Yep. This is one that does still have synergy with Sejuani, because Jayce will try and poke out the Renekton early, try and get the Renekton off of the wave so you can't build up your rage, and then close in for melee form, hammer form. If your Sejuani is there, that is a kill. You can stack up very quickly the passive, and there's plenty of damage potential.
Up to 4 melee champions to stack the Sejuani passive fast and get the point and clicks done in afterwards. And Tactical is in an army of physical damage champions. Sejuani leans that way, Lee Sin and Jayce obviously that way as well, and no one cares about support Shen's damage output.
Yeah, how is Blaber's Taliyah? I expect it to be up to par here. I also very frequently will look for level 1 invades when you have this champion, because you can have such successful jungle invades, especially if you can play off some winning lanes. So immediately, right out of the gate, Cloud9 are doing just that.
Here we go. Cloud9 on their way towards the top side. They're going to see if they have some kind of answer to how Alphari plays the beginning on Jayce. Walks to try, then walks out. He's like, wait a second, no. The shenanigans possible are too much for me. We're just going to play it really defensively, play far back, because indeed, yeah, Trinket Ward could have meant maybe Vulcan finds a knockback or anything. And end of the day, it is a Tri-Brush Ward that Fudge will try to abuse. Ooh, might be a late invade towards red. And actually, TL are unaware of this invade right now. Quick spot. Okay, Perkz wants to stop Santorin's recall. Does so. Ooh. And that's just a, Trinket Ward put down. I don't believe they should have given away vision. I don't believe it was possible for Vulcan to be seen.
No, but you just assume that they're there, because you're facing a Rakan, and Rakan's almost, very frequently at least, will start the W so you can go over the back of the pit. And so very frequently you'll do this pincer movement where you're trying to guess and pin someone against the Rakan that has jumped over the wall. So you just assume now there's going to be vision.
All right, if you want to take a dip into the waters of LCS analysis, we've got a coach standing by. Mithy is going to talk to us about how Cloud9 are doing in this one.
Thank you, Phreak. I had to talk to Mithy. Taliyah make an appearance in this matchup. Why was this a choice to draft here in this game?
Well, it worked pretty well for us in Spring Split, and we just thought, why not give it a try? And it's been working quite well for us in scrims, so thought it was the right time.
Why not? And on the other side for Team Liquid, they're running back the Lee Sin, they've got the Ziggs, they've got the Sejuani as well. A couple other differences, you snagged the Renekton. What in-game does Cloud9 need to do to execute and suppress them this time around?
Well, I think our last game was pretty good. We managed to actually fight back early game. So I think we have the right conditions to do the same this game. So really excited for that.
There's always a lot of pressure that comes with going for the reverse sweep, though. Is there anything in particular you told your team to go for that exact goal?
No, I think we're used to reverse sweeps at this point. I think we're just taking it one game at a time. We sort of have a plan going in, and then understand and try to adapt to how they're playing and what their strengths are, what we're not doing too well. And so far, it's been working out pretty well. So I'm excited to see how this game goes.
So am I, Mithy. Always great getting your insight. Let's go ahead and send things back to insert duo name here.
Thank you. I appreciate that one. I'm a fan.
Okay, insert something.
Huh?
Is that insert duo name here? Insert something.
I have inserted. Thank you, Gabby. I appreciate that one. That's our duo name.
That's our name.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we're just
we are the Gabby fan club. Thank you, Gabby.
Absolutely, yes. Le Tigris, I think, is quite excellent. So, ups there. And by the way, nearly the pullback on a Jensen is able to ward hop safely to get away as the supports had roamed down as well. And for the first time, it's Cloud9 with the first move on to mid.
And it's time for Crabber to emerge, Phreak. Support timers mean everything here. CoreJJ's walking up as well. No shield left on the Crab, but no smite for Blaber means too bad. The Crab is not yours. Santorin's got the smite. He's got the Crab and teleports right back out for both mids.
A little bit of damage comes out. Good job, Perkz. But now with the junglers and mid laners coming around, they're still looking for more. Taunt's going to land on a 2. Lee Sin for a bit more. Perkz gets away for a moment. CoreJJ's one in from Devin. He gets a shield, and they can't get the rest of the damage. Vulcan jumps in. Vulcan jumps out. Ignite on Jensen will not find the kill. Actually, yeah, it was Ignite, but he survives all the same.
A little bit greedy with the seismic shove. He wanted to get both of them there and doesn't quite get Core for the kill. Should just go for the lowest health target. A little bit greedy, really wanted both, but still Cloud9 will be able to push in. Bottom Crab will definitely be secured, but they're also trying to force him off the minions.
Gonna be a little spicy. Keep in mind, mid lane turret, like top lane, takes half damage in the first 6 minutes of the game, so they get really nothing.
Yeah.
5 minutes of the game, so they get nothing out of this damage. It would have been a turret plate if it was somewhere else, but not gonna be the case here. By the way, check out the dive every Tuesday at 5 a.m. Pacific.
Yeah, Phreak is on it very frequently.
Yeah, once every like 6 episodes, you bring me along.
A lot more recently with all the... Oh, here we go.
Oh, big damage. A flash away for Jensen. Q's back in. Does he follow it? The health bars are pretty low. He goes in, and it's first blood to Team Liquid. And Cloud9 want to trade it back. They'll get one. Under the turret they go. Perkz running from minions. Blaber staying alive just barely. 1 for 1, but first blood TL.
I'm loving the 3v3 tag teams in mid lane, Phreak. They go for another all-out brawl, and this time Team Liquid are the ones getting a kill, getting blood for their money here. This one almost evens it right back up. This means bottom lane has been left to their own devices. Sven still with a very sizable CS lead for himself, even with Tactical being able to push that last wave under tower and harass him a little bit.
CoreJJ just doing the big roams, making sure he knows what all the wards look like, gets rid of the blast cone that could help Blaber make a faster gank. And now he's here in time. Why is the man there? But the dice is good enough. Just gets away from the taunt.
Super close there. CoreJJ, though, has been gone from bottom lane for maybe longer than he's been in bottom lane this game. I would say that is true. Okay, so knockup did hit 3, but then the response taunt from CoreJJ was so big. I was quite surprised that Jensen actually went back in, but it was very, very rewarding for them. They pick up the kill. One is traded back in the end, almost getting the second one there, though. And with the extra shield, really meant a lot. Supports do not play bottom lane, Phreak. Supports are map players.
Yes.
Vulcan now has taken his turn with his ticket up the top side.
This is a very exciting game, though. It's tied right now on the scoreboard as Raptors will not be taken away. Perkz is not rewarded for his efforts, really. Top lane lead.
Core went back to base and came back top side. No supports in bottom, and they're fighting again.
And they're finding a knock-up into a knockback into the combos that they wanted. You thought it was Renekton? Nah. It's the setup from everyone else as they will dunk back into Perkz, but now Fudge has arrived. Renekton level 6. Kicked right back out by the Jayce. No kill to be had. TP does nothing.
Keep the rumble going, Phreak. They know all games of this series have been won by the early lead, and so everybody's spending every resource they possibly can muster up towards these mid-lane skirmishes. Fight over this control ward does result in the control ward dying. No extra knock-up lands, but it's another crab for Cloud9 on top of the pick.
The goal difference pretty small right now, but it is a bit TL favored as Fudge is going to have a really big wave crash into Alphari's turret, and that's going to be a bit of money for this Jayce, who's already gone for early healing cut, because realistically you're always going to land an auto on Renekton, and yeah, that Q is going to do 40% less healing. Make that lane a lot harder.
All right. Definitely way more time spent by supports out of bottom lane than in bottom lane now.
I love this,
I actually want to track this stat as we're progressing through this game. Can we get live updates? This has got to be most roaming we've ever had from two of the top supports in the league, and they're just playing topside now.
Yeah. And hey, you know, Zven and Tactical, they're just farming back and forth. Zven's clapping him, by the way. Zven is easily out laning, but honestly, okay, you get a 300 gold lead from CS. The roams are worth way more.
River Shen and River Rakan now are the new evolutions of the LCS. I love it because they've actually been impactful. Now, Rift Herald has actually spawned on top side. You have even more rewards possible for the next brawl that is won here, and you can already see investments into control wards to make sure this doesn't go down without a fight. Santorin now level 6 on sejuani is huge for these brawls. It means significantly more than the level 6 from Taliyah because the wall, there's a possibility of getting a good wall off and sectioning someone, but the sejuani brings so much power for bursting down a single target at this point in the game where the champion health is extremely low compared to the amount of CC that you're actually bringing to the team fight.
All right. Well, Santorin safely able to farm. Vulcan coming back in a mid as Jensen and Perkz may trade blows. Keep in mind, reinforcements have arrived. Gonna land the first stun. Not gonna find the knockup as Jensen's able to jump back. Goes right back in, and here is Shen. Here's sejuani, and here's a kill on a Perkz, and Vulcan's got nowhere to go either. The man is gonna drop, and Team Liquid get the better of Cloud9 in the mid lane.
The team that flinches first in mid, who doesn't have the jungler also hovering, loses out, Phreak. Team Liquid, they stayed true to the mid lane brawl, and they are are rewarded now. The Rift Herald's under attack. Sejuani level 6 is so crazy impactful for these early skirmishes. That CC undeniable. Now C9 still contesting though. Teleport used and Zven walked up.
Oh, barely not going to get that route. That could have been huge. That could have been a pick, but it is going to be TL able to walk away. It does mean that this is going to be an objective claim.
Yeah.
Okay. FTX gold lead 1,400, but that'll drop by a fair bit once this Herald crashes in and finds some turret plates.
Teleport right back out for Perkz, and since no walk up from Tactical, that means that Team Liquid, they will get bottom lane pushed in. I want to check, there was 4 plates before we went into this replay on bottom side. Tactical is down there on Ziggs, who's quite good at getting them. He's gotten 1 by himself. He pushed the wave in. As you can see, still farming quite a lot. And yeah, you know the story here as far as the mid lane. Locked him up with the Sedge passive, then uses the ultimate. That's how you always want to do it. If you have to use the ultimate first, then you are unable to further stack up passives afterwards for the duration on that cooldown. So you get the maximum out of their crowd control. Plenty of execution there. Jensen goes back in on that Lee Sin that he's been performing on. And Team Liquid, they got the kill. They did not get the Rift Herald in the aftermath, but they still have secured their gold lead because it was paid by some extra money from Tactical. He got 2 plates for the Ziggs on bottom.
Alrighty, Tactical is back into the bottom lane, level 8 on a Ziggs. He's got solo lane XP because
both of them have. They're solo lane bottom
basically
players.
Solo laning. The stat I was told that I'm waiting to get the double check on is 0% and 4% duo procs. But I believe they at least started their lane.
0%?
But like,
no way.
I think they at least started the game in
Yeah.
lane. So you know, there might be like a minute it started at, but that's still amazing.
Okay, so duo procs for everybody while this fight breaks out.
Yeah, we gotta wait for this one because Alphari is bringing in a Shen, a double taunt to follow up. Oh, it's just beautiful by Team Liquid. Fudge does flash the wall. But, I mean, CoreJJ is everywhere.
Line him up and knock him down. Yep, now he's Shen access to level 6, so he also joins on that one. Jensen fancies himself a trade.
Okay, yeah, and I've been told that we track duo procs from basically 1:30 when the waves crash, so they're just out of there.
Literally 0%. That's insane. Okay,
That's
so
amazing.
dual proximity for everybody listening is the percentage of time that you spend next to your duo partner or within 1,500 range.
Yeah. And so just CoreJJ hasn't.
That's actually insane. Oh, look at him right now. Recalled once again. They're both back out to the map. Rakan is top side, and CoreJJ is headed right down mid, as you should, so you can split to either side that the play is. He's playing with the synergies, Phreak. He's River Shen, playing with sejuani on his team. It's actually expected.
That's true. CoreJJ watched North American great Spica and was like, I can do that.
Definitely true. Uh-oh, he's getting within 1,500 range.
Wow. All right, well, we're going to hope we can round this one down. Keep it down to
1,500, by the way, is about Nidalee Spear
Yeah.
range for people if you want to get visualization.
It's like a bit of a mystic shot. As okay, nice. Fudge gets the wave, gets some damage on Alphari, gets a nice hit back. Always very smart, by the way. Right, champions are cooldown based. When Fudge is out of cooldowns, Alphari goes, he's got nothing up on auto attacks, Q's back in for a hit. It looks out pretty good. First dragon picked up there by Team Liquid. Herald charge in mid, goes decently, but does not quite claim plate number 3. So just only a little bit of gold. TL still pretty well ahead.
Yeah, and Dragon picked up while the Rift Herald was being used mid. So Team Liquid, they finally have CoreJJ on bottom, then they finally get a bottom lane objective. Tactical right after the Dragon 2 just gets right back to pushing. This is where it's really fun to play Ziggs after you are able to just spam these waves down. So gets another plate for himself. That one getting dangerously close to execution range as well.
Oh, Fudge thought he was going to go and push him with the wave, so he pre-ults for the Rage so that he can get the empowered stun right away off the dash, but ultimately doesn't get the guess correct. The time doesn't matter, right? Herald's up for a while, Dragon's up for a while, get the ulti back, but you know, it's a risk with very low punishment and pretty high reward. Mid laner's still fighting. Perkz, keep in mind, by the way, has a Shen ult to his name, but no one to jump to.
I love watching the levels of the supports too. Vulcan here sitting at level 6. CoreJJ has got a little bit more on the kill participation as well as soaking some waves, so is up to the level 7. Definitely really matters when you're able to convert on some of those. And your Shen ultimate also being back up for a next play here means he's got a lot more versatility than Vulcan does. So Vulcan kind of forced to wait in more brush.
Nice by Perkz, gets to cheat his way back in the lane. He's like, well, I recalled, and I'm just going to Shen ult to our Rakan and Cool, we're in there. Gets the wave, gets to walk out. Want to point out, Team Liquid have taken 6 turret plates this game. Cloud9 have only gotten the 2 from the Rift Herald charge. So, again, Tactical on the chain push. He's down 8 CS, but he's up 480 from turret plates, and now just goes wide, 3 points in, still a big slow, and Perkz is running low on health, pushed back, barely staying alive, gets a big heal, and this will be 1-0 so far. The re-engage looks good as Jensen takes down 1. Flash E comes in for more. Alphari wants Fudge, he should have the damage, and one more shot will do him in. Look at that, the seismic shove looks good, the knockup's pretty good as well, but it's not going to be any more kills. Team Liquid 2-1 in that fight.
I love watching Jensen play with this much confidence and this much killer instinct.
Yeah.
Him on Lee Sin this series has been just night and day from previous iterations. He chases this one down, gets the extra kill once again. Team Liquid at the top, just racking up so much money. You went over the value of that Rift Herald, and we counted 2 turret plates from Tactical during the bottom lane push. He should be able to
he got it in time.
Get his shove off, and he does.
That's a good read. When he hit the first Q and said, wait, the next one's hitting the same place, this is a TP channel. I need a seismic shove now. Good read, because none of that gives vision. So that was a really, really smart play by Blaber to identify in time. He guessed the Q location on time as well. Really, really well done. Brings it back a little bit, but it is still a rough look as Fudge and Alphari. I mean, this is going all the way of Team Liquid. Alphari is absolutely top-fiffing this entire series. Fudge barely slinks away with his life, but there is no counterplay.
Yep, making good use of that Jayce counter pick. Moves in very, very quickly with the rest of the team. Also does not overcommit for the kill onto Fudge, so the rest of Team Liquid can reset. You see they've got very deep vision once again. Super well utilized, I would also say, because every time they put it up, they get some value out of it. This vision is not just standing there. It is mining extra minions, mining extra camps for themselves. CoreJJ has a quarter of a timer left on his Shen ultimate coming right back up too, and they'll look to make another proactive play off of it.
Alrighty, we'll give you the final duo Perkz update soon. And by the way, between 3 and 15 minutes, but we'll give the final score for both reports in a moment, because right now there's a scuttle fight going on, our Herald fight. I get that wrong constantly. I'll fix it one day. Santorin gets after shotgun. He's fighting Vulcan, gets away. Stun's going to land, but there's no follow-through just yet as the Zhonya's gets away from the Ziggs ulti. Vulcan's on the way out. Decent damage out from Blaber, and here comes the flank play. Jensen gets the kick, Jensen gets the Q, and they're going to get Perkz down. Blaber is next, but Blaber will not fall. He trades one back. Vulcan low, out though, gonna stay alive. Snipe's gonna get some decent damage, but not a kill just yet. 1 for 1.
Fudge 1 for 4.
Fudge wants in, but can't get it to happen. Shock Blast lands. Seismic Shove is not the kill. The Ziggs gets it at the end. Tactical finds the kill. 2-1 again for Team Liquid.
I'm loving these low health plays, Phreak. So incredibly close. They want to be the difference makers. Fudge goes in 1v4 to try and pick up that kill. Just barely can't get it, but then Blaber over the wall. Seismic shoving and drawing out that Shen cooldown. Let's take another look at your Rift Herald start by Cloud9. 2.4k health left on it, so Santorin, he's just looking for the stun onto Blaber. Barely any time between the stun going off and his Zhonya's opening. Blaber barely got his Zhonya's off. He immunes the damage from the Ziggs ultimate, tries to kite away. Jensen then baited in and tries to chase him down, does die on the deep chase from Team Liquid, and you think they're going to get out of it with just low health after this, but Fudge really wanted that flash play. His auto was almost enough to finish off CoreJJ, and then Blaber over the wall does shove back and get the Shen ultimate out, but it ends up costing Fudge his life and just the cooldown from Shen ultimate from the side of Team Liquid, so the extra bit just going over their way once again. It feels like these incremental advantages just keep adding up for Team Liquid.
And so far in the series, who has controlled the early game has controlled the game itself. TL poised for a victory here. Final update on Duo Perkz once again from minute 3 through minute 15.
Okay.
12 minutes, which means every, 10% is 1.2 minutes if my brain works properly. 0.4% for CoreJJ. After the cannon wave, he just never saw that man again. He's like, I'm out. I got something else going on. Vulcan at 6.4%. Spent 1 minute, which is basically Herald play. That's all it was.
See, whoever flinches first makes the extra play for the team on top side of the map. And that 0.4% for CoreJJ was only at the very end, heading down for Dragon. A tactical coming up to CoreJJ. So definitely been a fun opening in this game, and it has been Team Liquid the victors of the early game once again. Now all that's left is to make use of those Zig bombs. There's another example there, executes yet another tower.
I absolutely love Ziggs in early game comps. All you want to do is say, oh, did you win lane and put it at half HP? Let me finish the job, buddy. 300 gold going my way.
Plus, it does fine laning by himself, just focusing on the minion wave clearing. Then all the kill threat of possible, support interactions is gone, and he's only about mana management.
I mean, he was in a 1v1 against Zven and went up 3 turret plates, because guess what? You auto-shove and just, use your passive.
Yeah, and 2 of the turret plates were taken during the time that Zven rotated up for the Rift Herald.
True.
So that exchange of gold and experience was quite good for Team Liquid.
It was. So here we go. FTX gold advantage, 4,000 as we cross 20 minutes, and this time it's also with the first 2 dragons. So time is short for Cloud9. There is a sub-30-minute Infernal Soul on the Rift at this point if Cloud9 cannot find their way back in.
I'm just already envisioning the CoreJJ interview about the River Shen and the timing and the 0.4% duo procs. Cloud9 are not out of it, though. Blaber here on this Taliyah pick. They brought it back out. It's in combination with Renekton. He's trying to make a side lane play here. Maybe he can get over to Vulcan to allow him to escape out of the pit, and he does. Gives him a little hand up.
And there were reinforcements. So Alphari waited in the brush. If there's a play to be had, maybe we can make something go through, but as there were Cloud9 reinforcements, he takes the safe approach, locks it out, and we go for the next one here. Zhonya's Hourglass is done for the Taliyah. Maybe would like to see a bit more damage because you are on a losing team. You want to kind of finish those kills, but it's a very minor point all the same. Finishes the red.
Yeah, I do understand it as far as so much dive and locking you up for Ziggs bomb. Remember if that previous one had hit on him right out of the stun, you're actually just dead as Taliyah. So he's looking for some sort of outplay timing window. Definitely going to be difficult to pull off, but if they can set it up with some sort of structure, Rakan set up into Renekton and Taliyah, the possibility is still there for Cloud9. It's just been such a difficult series for them, dealing with this extremely confident, extremely decisive version of Team Liquid.
It's cool to see. It is really nice to see, because this was the lamentation of Team Liquid, was the fact that they just didn't do anything for so long, and it's like, well, we're going to scale. I keep thinking back to, I believe it was the Peter Dunn interview, head coach of Evil Geniuses, talking about how this is a battle for the soul of the LCS. Like, EG trying to reinvent the LCS as an aggressive region. Hey, our best teams are the ones who take advantages, win lanes, and snowball the rest of the game. And this is how it's going to work. This is how we're going to do well internationally. And we watched this series, we're like, all right, here's Cloud9 and TL. They're both waiting to scale a fair bit. And no, it is early aggression. It is taking it to them. It's aggressive ganks. It's good laning phases. And it's cool to see that kind of across the region, right, we are skewing more aggressive. It's fun to see.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of teams that have been edging towards that strategy. You mentioned Cloud9 themselves as Santorin sets up the stun.
Gonna have some damage. CoreJJ block zone is on, but now they go back in for some damage. He's gonna have to burn his stopwatch to stay alive. Reinforcements have arrived. The flash comes across, and the ult goes wide as Perkz steals it away from sejuani. Turrets falling now is, it's 4 for Team Liquid.
Still rewarded for their split push on bottom side. Another one falls, more money in the bank, and more wards in the jungle. They've done such a good job utilizing this sejuani, and just think of it, this was a champion that Greg had so many games on, but incorporating Santorin here with the very aggressive look of it, of having these synergies with the solo laners, and constantly fighting, constantly looking for these plays.
Yep. Hey, they came in with what feels like a strategy, right? Okay, tactical, you're going to be on 1v,
on 1vx it feels like a strategy, all right.
Yeah, you're on 1vx champions. You are alone in bot lane. CoreJJ's hard roaming. We are playing around winning solos. This is the style they wanted. We knew in around week 6 they were going to choose who their top laner was. Alphari, very lane dominant, wants to play for himself, calls for himself to say, here's what I need, here's what I want. Jenkins is much more passive, much more weak side. And they said, we want to play around strong top side. And they have now built a strategy 4 games in a row where they're playing around those solos.
And they've also been, decently versatile, because the trend up in roaming from CoreJJ started when they declared full-time Alphari. They immediately had that game where he's up there ganking over and over. But then they also showed, like Malphite top games and showed that versatility. So best of 5s, still having a lot of options for the team. Dragon number 3 will be taken without any sort of sniff here from Cloud9. They want to make the cross-map play instead and get payment in the form of Alphari.
First knock up, there's the knock back, a lot of damage. Shen arrives, and Shen is going to fall to get 2 for nothing. And how good's the tower dive going to look now? Perkz has the Shen ult. He can keep someone alive as Jensen's just on his way out. Great charm and a knock up and a knock back into everything that they need. It's gonna be a 3-0 topside for Cloud9.
Cloud9 found a bargain on Team Liquid members, Phreak. They only were going for 1 in the Alphari kill for the topside play, but they get 3 for their money's worth with the ants going marching in 1 by 1. Shen ultimate teleport coming in. They get 3 kills. They start up the Baron.
Yep.
Santorin does have smite. He does have flash. Can he get the steal though?
Can it happen? It's at 2K. He gets the stun. He's going to get a lot of damage. Let's go, Santorin! The smite is good!
They get 3 for 1 on Team Liquid members, but Santorin gets a 1 for 0 freebie on the Baron. Phreak, he steals it away. Whoa. Clutch plays in playoff series. Santorin is back on the roster. He has worked through headaches. He has worked through migraines. He's been dealing with so much. And this man is performing out of his mind on the series today. Him and Jensen have been just outstanding for Team Liquid. And in another clutch play, he comes up huge. One of the biggest things you can do as a jungler, stealing back that Baron, that big objective after your team has gone down.
Okay. Now let's see what's next. How much are you going to get? 2,000 gold lead right now in the Red Bull Baron power play. CoreJJ not going to be knocked up, and now Santorin might get his way back in. Ziggs bomb comes across Blaber, nearly dead, and has to run for his life. Already they've knocked the support down, and Blaber, you're not long for this world. No way out either. It's a 2-0. Looking for a third. Absolutely, they're going to get him. Santorin on another kill. 3, 2, and 9 leads the team in kills. He is popping off a stolen Ziggs ult. He kills part of a wave, but it feels like this is done and dusted. The first 2 TL wins were under 30 minutes. We're at 26 and change already. The FTX gold lead is 6.3 thousand, and now we go for Nexus turrets. 1 is down. Time for the second. 15 seconds on Blaber. Another 5 beyond that on the bot lane. Trying to defend this one in the 3v5. It's not quite going to be enough. The Nexus turrets are down, and the front line will not hold any longer. Stopwatches mean nothing as Perkz runs for his life. Fudge is going to die as well. And Team Liquid, definitively the better team. Every single win in under half an hour apiece. They drop a single game, but they will drop Cloud9 more convincingly as Blaber tries his best to stay alive, but it's not going to be enough. 1 last ult and 1 last Nexus. Team Liquid demolish Cloud9.
Playoff TL are just built different, Phreak. Insane performance from them. CoreJJ, 0.4% dual proximity for the first 15 minutes of this game. Play after play after play. Jensen and Santorin combined over the course of this series for so many mid-jungle setups. This team is just on fire in playoffs.
What a great week of prep for Team Liquid. Santorin had not played Sejuani all year. Tactical had not played Ziggs at any point in time in his career. And here they came swinging. Early game leads. Every single win under 30 minutes. Every single one was faster than the last one. Obviously a clutch smite by Santorin to stop what could have been an easy comeback. It felt like if C9 got that smite, if Blaber got that smite, that was maybe a Cloud9 win. But Santorin came in clutch. He was excellent in all the other games as well. And it came through in the end.
Woo, Team Liquid. All right, with that win in the upper bracket for Team Liquid, they're feeling extremely confident.
Yep.
They've also put a little bit more fear into the rest of the league as far as what they can bring to these best-of-5 series. So I really do feel like there are a lot of options for this team.
They get a week to get ready for TSM. ENT's get a week to get ready for them. And honestly, this feels nothing like the TL I've been casting all year long. This feels rejuvenated. It feels ready to go. I'm excited to watch them play some more.
I mean, they had such a bumpy road in dealing with the new meta. People are talking so much about solo lanes, having a hard time adapting to all these melee solo laners and everything. Let's take another look at the pro view of the smite from Santorin. 400-something health, and it was just clean. Q right in. able to get the timing there, that is a difficult one, but that is a flip that you kind of have to take in that situation. I'm trying to think what other possibilities of keeping Santorin out of the back of the pit that Cloud9 could have gone for, because they already had taken down 2 members.
Yep.
But they didn't have a lot of extra tools.
Yeah, I mean, this was obviously good coordination.
And there's a
Tactical
flash
threw
still on
damage
the
in.
Sedge too.
Yeah, Tactical threw in damage at the same time, so they kind of bursted it together from about 1,400. Like, that's a good combo by the squad.
But he lands a smite at seeing 400-something health.
Yeah, I mean, he's going in, like, I think, I'm going to guess, if we ever talk to him, it's like, he's going to go in off of the tactical damage, and he's going to smite as the bombs land, and just, like, that's going to be the timer. Because you know what kind of damage your Ziggs deals at this point in time. Like, you know it's like, okay, it's like to the 800-ish degree. So jump in at 1,500, throw the skill shots, hit the smite when you expect them to land, and that's the timer, right? And so you own the cards, right? You own the burst. That's just me talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, both sides can see.
Of course. Like I said, it is a complex thing.
I agree, though. And that's why I say it's one of the most impressive things for junglers to be able to pull off. That was just the cherry on top of what was already an amazing series by Santorin. So definitely congratulations to Team Liquid. Meanwhile, Cloud9, collision course with the Golden Guardians in the lower bracket for playoffs. They're going to now have to make the run all the way back up if they want one of those world spots.
And honestly, that's going to be a fun series as well. I know we've heard, I think it was a Blazalo from Golden Guardians say, I don't think anyone thinks we're the 8th best team. And Cloud9 obviously looked quite mortal today. We heard from Cold say, hey, they looked at all the Cloud9 games and said, we looked at the losses and we came up with a really obvious idea of why they lose games. So we went for it, and their play style today worked really, really well on the TL side. Okay, Golden Guardians, you were just handed another playbook of here's how Cloud9 loses games. Can they replicate that?
CoreJJ spent so much time roaming. Golden Guardians support is named Chime. You know where that come from? Bard. Who roams more than Bard?
River Shen, apparently.
River Shen does. Actually true. Facts. Facts. River Shen does.
He does. That'll be fun, though. That will be a fun series. I mean, TL TSM is going to be an exciting series. Whoever wins that one is headed to Worlds, headed to the bracket. EG 100 Thieves, whoever's winning that one's headed to Worlds. The rest of the teams are running through the lower bracket to find that run going. I mean, it feels like we have 4 really sick-looking teams right now who could all win the title, and it's going to be really exciting. So this is going to be a fun postseason. Keep in mind, again, next